You know, we throw around the word research all the time, but what does it really mean to create new knowledge from the ground up? It's definitely not just about hitting the books. It's a whole structured journey. And today, we're going to break down that entire process, from what it even is to the step-by-step path of a PhD. But first, let me ask you something. When you hear the word research, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it just a cap and gown? A fancy title you can put on a business card? You know, that's what a lot of people think. But as you're about to see, it is so much more than just an academic checkbox. All right, so here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off by figuring out what research actually is. Then we'll get into all the amazing benefits, walk through the real-world steps of a PhD, and wrap up by looking at why the process itself is so incredibly important. Okay, let's dive right in. What are we really talking about when we say research? It's a word we use constantly, but it has a very specific and powerful meaning. Now, the magic phrase here is systematic process. See, research isn't just about randomly collecting facts or hoping you stumble onto an answer. It's a structured, methodical journey designed to solve a specific problem. And the ultimate goal? To create brand new knowledge that pushes the boundaries of what we all understand. So knowing what it is, that's a great start. But honestly, the why is where things get really exciting, because the impact of doing research goes way beyond the lab or the library. It actually shapes who we are and the world we all live in. Think about it like this. Creating new knowledge is the end product, sure, but the process of getting there, well, that's an absolute powerhouse for development. And it really breaks down into 4 huge areas of our lives. Let's take a look at each one. First up, let's talk about you on a personal level. It's helpful to think of research as a workout for your brain. It forces you to think critically, to analyze information logically, and to build some seriously sophisticated problem-solving skills that are valuable no matter what you do in life. Then, of course, there's the academic side. Research is literally the engine that powers the entire system of learning. Every new discovery, every updated theory, it all deepens what we know and paves the way for the next wave of students and thinkers. It's the lifeblood of higher education. And that impact just keeps expanding out into society as a whole. Research has major real-world consequences. We're talking medical breakthroughs, new ways of teaching, solutions for the environment. These insights lead to actual progress that improves lives and helps us all think a little more scientifically. And finally, let's talk about your career. The kind of deep expertise and advanced skills you gain from research, they are pure gold in the professional world. It does way more than just look good on a resume. It opens up entirely new career paths and establishes you as a genuine expert in your field. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why, but how does this all get done at the highest level, like in a PhD program? It can seem like this massive, intimidating mountain to climb, but it's really a well-defined path. You can really break the whole PhD journey down into 3 clear phases. First, you've got to lay the groundwork with foundation and planning. Then comes the real heavy lifting, execution and analysis. And finally, you bring it all home with finalization and defense. Let's dig into what's in each phase. Phase 1 is all about the blueprint. You're not just picking a topic you like, you're finding a supervisor, you're digging deep into all the existing studies to find that unique gap in knowledge. And then you're meticulously planning out your entire strategy. This stage is all about building a rock-solid foundation. Then we hit phase 2, and this is where the plan comes to life. This is the doing part. You're out there collecting data, processing it, and then comes the really fun part, analyzing it to see what story it tells. As you start to figure out what you found, you begin the hard work of writing it all up, making sure it's all original and properly cited. And that brings us to the grand finale, finalization. This is all about sharing your work with the world. You pull everything together into a powerful conclusion, you get your final manuscript ready, and then you face the ultimate test, submitting your thesis and defending your work in the final viva. This is where you prove you've made a real contribution. Now, after seeing that whole journey laid out, you might be wondering if you can take a few shortcuts. But here's the thing. The true value of research isn't just in that final published paper. It's baked into the very act of following that structured process. So why is sticking to the process such a big deal? Well, because it gives your work a reliable and valid framework. It gives you clear directions so you don't get lost in the weeds. And at the end of the day, a strong process is what maximizes the chances that your work will actually make a meaningful contribution to the world.
So, really, research isn't some isolated thing you do in a university. It's this essential journey that's all tangled up with our own growth, our careers, and the progress of our society. At its heart, it's the path we take to move knowledge forward. Which really makes you think, if this systematic process is so powerful, how could we apply its principles of curiosity and rigor to solve other problems in our lives?